Hi, and happy Wednesday. This is Dee-Dee Devon of Divine Intervention, Lifestyle, and Nutrition Health Coaching, here to share another way to master your anxiety and fear. I'm on tip number 8 out of 10. Who knew there were so many ways? Well, that's one of the things a coach does is when you feel stuck, and usually because of fear, is to open up possibilities for what all of this time can mean for you and for your future. And that's what I'm here to help you with. Coaching is amazing, and it's often a conversation that I have with someone that can literally change the trajectory of their life. So I think that's pretty cool. So I'm here to help you create breakthroughs around your health, your life, your career, your relationships, whatever it is that's up for you today. And the best gift that I can give is the gift of coaching to help you create breakthroughs, to see possibilities where you may not see them right now. One of the things I was thinking about today before I share my next tip is that we're kind of between worlds right now. We're not where we were, and we're not yet where we're going. We're just sort of in the middle. And so, what is the thing that helps us kind of keep going? What I help people do as a health coach is that habits are really the key, and that small baby steps, small habits can lead to big changes over time. And it may not even be like today, I'm not necessarily going, today I'm focused on my personal transformation. I am always, but the way that I'm doing that is by anchoring into small habits daily. So, what are the small steps that I can take, especially when I'm stuck at home? And of course, everybody has different challenges. But for me, I've been focusing on exercise. I've been focusing on journaling. I just sort of pray and say, what do I need to know today? And then I just start writing and I get the message for whatever it is that I need to know. Another habit I've been sticking with really pretty religiously is drinking my water and staying hydrated. After I drink two of these, then I can have a glass of wine. That's my incentive. Sharing these coaching techniques and how to handle anxiety and fear every day to help you, but also to remind myself of my truth, of my personal power, and how I can express that in all different ways. Again, especially with the challenges that are occurring now that are quite unique. So, if you have a hard time creating or sticking to small habits, that's what I do professionally as a health and lifestyle coach through psychology and brain science, shadow work, family systems. I have what's called a total 90-day total body transformation, where we make what you want to do become who you are without doing the work. You just wake up, brush your teeth, go to the gym. But before I share my next tip, I want to encourage you that if you don't have any habits that you have in place or are currently working on, may I suggest 3? And I can't take credit for these. Again, everybody's different, but I've taken these from the astronauts that spend months on end alone in space. This is a unique time being quarantined. So I was curious. And the first is to have a routine, starting with getting out of bed, brushing your hair and your teeth, getting dressed, maybe having a healthy breakfast, starting with a routine. Second is some sort of movement. When we change our motion, we change our emotions. And third is to pace yourself and to just accept the challenges as they come. Because we have a saying in health coaching, small hinges swing big doors. It's the small steps that create big changes. Okay, that's my pep talk. And now on to tip number 8. I'm trying to move through this quickly so it doesn't take too much time. Tip number 8, I call connecting with higher self. In technical coach jargon, you could call this perceptual positions or submodalities. But I want to keep it simple and not get too fancy with it. So, what we want to do with this technique is to be able to help you dissociate from yourself, which is a really powerful technique where you then associate into another person or entity in order to get access to a completely different point of view, which then opens up when you have a new point of view. Now, all of a sudden, you have new possibilities that you didn't have before. And there are many ways that you could get fancy with perceptual positions, but I'm keeping it simple and calling it connecting with higher self. Because what I really want to help you is to dissociate from yourself and to associate into however you define your higher power or that which is greater, whatever you want to call it. So, what I want to ask you to do is to find a spot on the floor or designate another chair in your room as spirit or God, or however you want to define that which is greater. And then I'm going to ask you to move into that position. And you'll know in just a moment when you step into the God chair, you're going to sort of become one with that energy. You're going to connect with God in the God chair. You're going to speak as if God's voice or the universe's voice or whatever. And that when you get into that other position or that other chair, you're going to close your eyes, connect with that which is greater, and you're going to speak from the voice of that which is greater, which has access to far more possibility and knowledge than we have. And when you're in that position, not only are you connected to that which is greater, what's going to happen is you're going to move from sympathetic nervous system to parasympathetic nervous system. So from stress to relaxation almost immediately. So you're going to move into relaxation mode. You're going to be connected to that which is greater. So your body's going to be relaxed. The critter brain defenses are down. And then that which is greater is going to be fueling your ideas. And then when you get a felt sense of that point of view of that which is greater, I'm going to ask you to now take all of those learnings and go back to your original chair and bring them back to your spot. And you're going to bring all that energy, all that beautiful, loving, open energy of possibility, and you're going to feel completely different than when you began this technique. If you think about looking at a painting, have you ever looked at a painting one way and saw a certain imagery? But then if you were to turn it sideways or upside down, it looks like something completely different. That's the idea. So physically moving into a different space can help you see things from a different angle and therefore get a different point of view, literally and metaphorically. So it really helps expand our awareness and see things a little differently, because sometimes the feeling of anxiety or fear, it's that helplessness, that powerlessness. It's that I'm stuck and I'm trapped. There's no way out. And really what that is just a limitation in our perception. Meaning that if you look at your options and on the menu is only one choice, and the choice is I'm royally screwed, either die now or suffer something worse later, if that's all you got on the menu, then naturally you're going to feel a lot of fear and anxiety, right? But if we shift even 1 degree or into another chair, as I just demonstrated, Then it widens the perspective. It enriches the menu of choices about how we see things. And once we start to get past to more options and more on the menu, we feel less stuck, less fearful, more powerful. So that's it. This is a mastery level transformational coaching technique. So some of these techniques might feel strange or different to you. Again, I'm rushing through them. But just remember that these are some of the kinds of more nuanced and sophisticated tools that I might use to help facilitate deep, lasting transformation for people. So if you can even uh, pick up one nugget, that doesn't mean you have to get everything, but keep coming back, uh, keep listening. All of my tips up until today are on my feed and also on my YouTube, YouTube channel. So you can come back and listen again, and maybe next time, the second time, you'll hear it and you'll go, oh, now I get it. That makes a lot of sense. At least it'll take you out of your fear and anxiety trying to think about it. So I hope this is helpful to you as you metabolize and integrate some of these tips to calm your fears in this time of uncertainty. And I'll be back tomorrow and we'll finish up over the next 2 days. Namaste.